Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you our Facebook ads strategy for an e-commerce company that we were able to consistently bring $15,000 to $20,000 every single month. In this video, I'm going to walk you through every step of our strategy and I'm going to set it up with you and show you exactly how we did this. So right now, I'm going to jump into the computer and show you how. Now this Facebook ad strategy helped to bring this client that we have here an extra $15,000 to $20,000 consistently every month in revenue. As you can see here are some examples. In the last 30 days, there was 182 purchases, 18.4K in revenue completed, and 3.5 return on ad spend. Usually the return on ad spend would vary anywhere between like 3.5 to 4.5 with this strategy. And you can see down here that the weekly purchase value was around $4,000. Sometimes it went up to like 5, almost 6,000. But a good clear thing to see here is that this strategy gets better over time. That's kind of one of the things with Facebook ads that are so important that you need to understand is that it's all about gathering information about your customers. And the more information you can gather, the better your ads will perform. And this clearly shows how week over week, things get better and better pretty much every week. Just for reference, the first month of this strategy, we were able to bring them about $4,000 in revenue. And now we bring them anywhere between 4 and 5 every week. So it clearly goes up over time. Now, for sake of confidentiality, I can't say exactly who this client is. However, I will say that they are in kind of the toys and games industry, and they sell online to the United States. So that kind of gives you a good idea of what type of company this is. Now, this is pretty much what this strategy looks like here. The whole idea is to gather information about your customers and try to find exactly who your customer is. This strategy can work if you're just starting out with Facebook ads or if you've been running them for quite a while. So I'm going to jump into kind of the overall strategy here, and then I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like click by click in the ads manager. So to start off, we want to figure out who your customer is and kind of niche down into exactly who's buying your products. So to start off, we're going to run some cold traffic or just general interest traffic. So people who are kind of sort of in your industry, who you think might like your product. Maybe this might be narrowing it down by country, narrowing it down by age, maybe some interests, but nothing, too creative or too specific there. Obviously, we want to bring people to your website. So once we have information and data behind who is going to your website, who's interested enough to continue on from one step to the next step to going to your website to look at your product, that's information that we're going to use because those people are more interested than people who just scrolled past you. Next, we're going to use the amount of people that actually purchased your product and find people who look just like that. So that will give us a great idea of who we should market to more. And that's where your ideal customer is. We want to find more of the people who are just like the people who already bought your product. So for the sake of this example, we're going to be creating an advertisement for Lego. This is a little Lego Batman set. Looks pretty cool. So that's for the sake of this example that we're building here. We're gonna be using this. Now this is just a blank ad account that I have. So that's what we're gonna be running this on. So this is gonna be a sales campaign here. Obviously we want people to buy this Batman sales campaign. Okay, so now if you're running an e-commerce company, I'm assuming you want to send people to your website. If this is something you're starting off brand new, I would highly recommend using Shopify. It's very easy to integrate Facebook ads and Shopify together. It'll make your life a whole lot easier if you do that. And the better you can track things, the better your ads will perform. So we're going to want to send people to the website. Performance goal. There's kind of 2 goals here that you could be looking at. Maximize the number of conversions, which is you get a lot of people to buy your product, or maximize the value of conversions. This is another one that we've looked at in the past. In other words, getting people to leave your store with the highest cart value possible. So for this example, we're going to use maximize the number of conversions, but it really depends on your preference. I just created a test pixel for this, but you're obviously going to want to have a pixel completed and installed on your website. The conversion event is purchase. Going down here a little bit more. Audience controls. For the sake of this example, we're just going to assume that you're marketing to everybody in the United States. We've done it in the past where we have only targeted specific areas for e-commerce companies. Maybe, for example, let's say you sell winter jackets. It's probably not a good idea to target Mexico for winter jackets because it doesn't really get that cold there. Or, don't target California in the summer if you're selling ski gear. Or don't target up north Canada for bathing suits in January. It's probably not a good idea. So do take that into account. We've done things where we've sold like college merchandise. For example, let's say the University of Michigan. We are going to assume that most of the people who are buying the University of Michigan gear are in Michigan. So there are some things you can play around there with location and obviously like wherever you ship or so on. For this, we're going to use original audiences. This is your first cold traffic. So if you're starting off brand new, you're going to want to figure out who your customer, you want to get people interested in your stuff. So you kind of do have to guess a little bit. Let's say, for example, for this example, for this toy, let's say that, ages 8 and up. Let's just assume like 8 to 16 are the people who are actually going to be buying this. So we're probably going to, in this example, want to target the parents of these people. So let's just assume that the parents are 30 to 65, maybe get some grandparents in there as well. And then interest, let's say parents with teenagers 13 to 17 and so on. And I would recommend doing that in creating different ad sets. So let's say one ad set that targets parents, one ad set that targets grandparents, one that targets parents with teenagers, one that targets parents with kids. And then once you have all the information back, you can say, okay, the grandparents and then the parents with teenagers are the ones that are working. Let's get rid of the other ones. You do have to kind of test this here. So now ad, again, I would recommend at least 5 different creatives per product. So in this case, we would upload all these different creatives or these videos onto the media right here. Primary text, some good copywriting would go in there, or maybe your offer. Shop now. Cool. Now the destination, we obviously want them to go to your website. So let's grab that. Should automatically pull this in. All right, cool. Now, this for tracking, you want to make sure that your pixel is installed on your website properly. This pixel is not active because I do not own Lego and I do not have my pixel on their website. But this is just an example here. That's extremely important because you want to be able to track this later on. So a big version of what this would look like is you would have one campaign, maybe 5 ad sets targeting different audiences, and each ad set has about 5 different creatives of this. You got the same copy, call to action and stuff like that. So this is the cold traffic. Now, the next step, once you get information back, you'll probably need at least about like 1,000 website visitors to really take it to the next step here. Remember step 2. So, all right, we got our cold traffic up. Once those have ran for a little bit, we see what's selling, what's not. The next step is to go to website view lookalike. So we are going to want to go to audiences here. We're going to want to create a lookalike audience based on the people that made it to our website. So let's say we run the ads and 1,000 people make it to that landing page, this one right here. We are telling Facebook, hey, show the ads to more people that got to this page. That's pretty much what we're saying. Because if they're interested enough to click on the link and follow through, then they're probably a better customer than just some random cold traffic. So create a custom audience, lookalike audience based on this pixel, other event with value, because we don't have enough information to do a purchase yet, and then view content, which is they're viewing the link that we told them to. Audience location, for the sake of this example, our audience is in the United States, and then the percentage of lookalike audience. So what that means is how accurate it is. A 10% lookalike audience will be more broad, and a 1% lookalike audience will be much more specific. So in other words, a 1% lookalike is people who look pretty much exactly like the other people who got to your website. Whereas a 10%, they look kind of like the people. So let's just say for the sake of this example, the people who are clicking on this are mostly 40-year-old moms who are buying this for their kids. Whereas 10% might be, 40, 50, 30-year-old moms, and maybe some dads in there. I don't know, but it'll be a little bit more broader. I don't think I'll be able to create this since there's no data. Yeah, okay. So once that has been completed, go back to the campaigns and create a new one. So you're gonna copy or just duplicate the campaign, and then in the ad sets, you are going to change the audience to the lookalike audience. So your lookalike audience will populate right here. You can get rid of the interests or keep them in there. That's really kind of personal preference. I prefer to go a little bit lighter and not super targeted. So I would get rid of the interests probably, and then just target to the lookalike audience in my location. And then same thing, you let them run, go back. Once you have more data, create a lookalike audience, but this time based on people who purchased. So instead of saying, hey, find similar people that made it to the page, you're saying find similar people that purchased this toy or this product, whatever your product is. Same thing, create an audience. Go back, duplicate, and change the audience from the website lookalike audience, website view content lookalike audience, to the website purchase lookalike audience. So that's going to be the most accurate version of your customer. That's how you can kind of filter through and find exactly who is purchasing your product. Also, there is something here where you can play around with custom audiences. So instead of saying, hey, find people that look like the ones that purchased, you can say, find people that look like the ones that purchased in the last 30 days. That's going to be probably one of the most accurate audiences you can get. Or maybe you want to say the past 180 days for whatever reason. Really anything in the middle would be perfect. These two kind of overlap sometimes and they get a little confusing. So you can say like people who look like those who purchased your product in the last 180 days. So in other words, people who look like a custom audience, which can get a little confusing, but for the most part, once that information is there, it'll pre-populate some of those things for you. I really want you to think of yourself when you are running your Facebook ads as a scientist. You are a scientist. You want to test what's good, what's bad, what's working, what's not, what your audience is responding to. You know, that might be testing different pictures, testing different videos, versions of copy, audience types, things like that. That is going to be how you're going to find exactly what's working for your audience. This is not a question of if do Facebook ads work or do they not work? It's how well can you make them work. If you run an e-commerce company or a website and you would like us to get these good results for you, there is a link below where you can book a call with me or somebody from my team. We'll get to know you, learn a little bit about your company, and see if this would actually be a good fit for your business. That company you saw in the example, in the first 5 months of working together, we helped to bring them between $75,000 to $85,000. So if you think this would be a good benefit to your business, hit that link below and we'll get talking. I hope this video provided you all with some value today. If you want to see more stuff like this, you can click subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. We have more informational videos coming out just like this. That being said, I hope you all have a great and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.